The first question, what motivated you to unionize? We would really like to hear what made you come to this decision.
Well, for us, it was the losing of benefits. They started to take things away, and because we were an unrepresented group, we didn't have any say. And no matter what we tried to discuss with executives, we were told we didn't have a seat at the table. And so that really pushed our group to decide to unionize, and I think it's been the best decision we've made.
In Santa Cruz, we do have a represented group, the Mid-Managers Association, but it had been status quo for so many years that leadership really didn't take us seriously. So when we would come to the table, and being a new union president, I didn't realize this was status quo. So when I came to the table and they said, "Oh, we're not used to you guys pushing back. You usually just take what we give you." And I went, okay, things have to change. So then I got a recommendation from a friend who knew about CEMA, and so I reached out to try to get the process started. And so far it's been amazing.
And one thing I would like to to add to that, I was a long-term employee with IBM when for about 13 years when I graduated from college. In the late 80s, I joined IBM, and by the late 90s, we had a defined pension plan. And IBM, again, non-unionized, took the initiative to convert everyone to a cash balance plan. Essentially what I had thought was, I should have had about $150,000, $200,000 in the conversion, turned out to be only $21,000.
Wow.
Fortunately, I was, young enough to, to leave and get into, work in the governmental sector where, the defined benefits are protected because we're unionized. But, I left a lot of colleagues at IBM behind that were, had been with the company 25, 30 years with, what they had thought would be cash balances of, $500,000, $700,000 with $80,000. And it was too late for them to start saving
Wow.
and make up the difference. So, and even nearly 25 years later, IBM has failed to the employers, the employees have failed to unionize. So, so it goes a lot to what my colleagues at the table here are saying, is that you have a lot more control over your destiny when you take a stand as a group rather than an individual, because as an individual, you just don't have the clout to negotiate with your employer, and they do a lot of unilateral things. And I have seen firsthand where, hundreds of people that I know got adversely affected from a financial perspective in the later years of their life where they cannot make up the difference.
Yeah.